Okay, in this little episode, we're going to talk about a brand new Windows 8 PC and what the steps you should take when you get it. First of all, you have to remember if you're buying a new PC, it's may have been in stock for a while or they may have manufactured for a while, so you're going to have to do updates. At least that's my recommendation. So we're going to walk through that, walk through unboxing one, do all the steps necessary. I'll give you a little list here of what we're going to do here first, and then you can go through the entire video. The first thing you should do is have plenty of time, at minimum of 2 hours, maybe three, because your new PC is probably going to have, unless it's a new tablet, a Surface 2s or something like that, it's going to have Windows 8, not 8.1. So you're going to want to install Windows, then install your updates to Windows 8, and then install 8.1 and then its updates. You should have your Wi-Fi, your home Wi-Fi network password ready, print it out. You should have a home group password ready. If you have a group of computers, you already have a home group in Windows set up. And you should have an existing account ready, preferably a Microsoft account. That's going to be either a Microsoft Outlook, Hotmail, or Live account, and maybe an Xbox. If you're going to sync all this stuff up, you want to have all that available and make a decision on which one you're going to use. So first thing you want to do is, of course, unbox your PC, and you can read the manuals if you want or not. It really depends upon your preference. But if it's a notebook or tablet, find the charging instructions. Make sure you charge it off while it's not running so the battery has a good charge up to capacity without any draining going on at the same time, so it does a complete charge. So then after that, you can go ahead and start your PC. And then you'll go through some Windows automated startup stuff that keeps you occupied, trying to distract you maybe a little bit while taking time to set up. But it gives you a couple of hints on how to use Windows 8. Now you're going to need that Wi-Fi network code I talked about earlier, so you're going to want to be able to enter that. And that's so you can connect to the internet and download updates later on and do that. So you want to do that. Then next you want to either log in with a local account. That means you're logging in just to the PC. But I prefer that you should use the Microsoft account, and we either create one or use one of those existing ones. We'll talk in detail about that later. And then you go ahead and sign in. Now after setup, you allow it to finish. It's going to take a while, about 20-30 minutes for the first one. The next thing is my preference only. You don't have to do it. I'll probably get in trouble by telling you to, so I'm not going to recommend it, but I am going to say that I don't use third-party software. Microsoft Windows, since version 7, had great virus protection, and Windows 8 is no exception. It's got Defender built in. You can go check my video on Defender. It's free. It does a very good job of virus protection. After it's set up and you have your account set up and all that, you're going to want to go ahead and install all the Windows updates. You're probably not even going to be allowed to install 8.1 because you don't have all the prerequisites, so you're going to go through the Windows updates. I had 84 updates because, after all, the operating system is now a year old, so it downloaded all the updates that was required to do for the last year. Now, it's going to take quite a while to do all the downloads and quite a while to do all that. You might have some hardware updates too. The manufacturer puts new updates out as well. So after all that's done and it boots up correctly and everything, then you're going to go ahead to the store and install Windows 8.1. It's going to take another 20-30 minutes to download, install, and put that in. After that, you're going to install the Windows 8.1 updates. Now, I only had 4 at that point, so that was great. So that was pretty quick at the end. And so it completely replaces the operating system, basically. So you're doing 2 installs here, 8 and then 8.1. And then, of course, last thing you want to do is come back to YouTube, okay, to the Old Guy Geek page and watch all my 8.1 videos. And I'll provide a link to that at the end here. So really, it's a good process to follow. I've had any problems whatsoever. Had success every single time just following these steps. So good luck to you, and let's get started. So here we are with a brand new ASUS S500. It's a very inexpensive one I bought from Best Buy. Uh, it was a nice PC for the features and everything. I didn't get the one with the SSD card in it or lighted keyboard because my wife's going to use this and she wanted a new PC and we went out there and looked around and got the one she wanted. But the point of it is that she doesn't need those features. Now, make sure that you look for a couple things of what you want to have. Lighted keyboards are nice if you're going to be working in a dark office, so I would recommend you do that. There's other things to consider as well. The boot time from this with a 500 gigabyte hard drive is traditional hard drive is a little bit slower than an SSD. So you make your choice. So anyways, we went in there and we took the PC out. And now I found the screen cleaner and a couple of things like that. And of course, here's the charging stuff and all that. Put that off to the side as well. We'll take the box and we'll move it out of the way and we'll get started looking at the PC. One more manual right here and let's get to work. Very nice packaging, by the way. ASUS, I've built systems with motherboards from ASUS for many, many years, and they're a beautiful product and everything. Very nice, somewhat lightweight, easy to move around, handle, and everything. I have no problem with that. So, as I mentioned in my intro, what we're going to do is after we open this up and look at it, and we're going to go ahead and plug it in. But here's that booklet I talked about. They even have call-in help if you want to use it, but there's charging times inside here, so you want to make sure that you follow those instructions and that. So with that, let's plug this baby in. I really can't get over how nice this beautiful screen is. Nice 15-inch touch screen and everything as well, and touchpad. But again, let's go ahead and plug in the adapter and everything. And before I do that, I wanted to take a look here real quick and show you some of the ports that are on the side of this. There's not only is there output for HDMI, USB, and a regular old VGA, and it's even got a wired network, which is unusual nowadays. That it does you can plug it in with via wire, but there's the plug-in for the power. On the other side, we got a couple more USB cards, an SD card slot, headphones, and all that stuff, and again, a lot of and then a lock for if you want to put one of those protection devices on it. So this laptop's got everything. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in, and I'm going to come back here in 3 hours and start the installation. So here we are, and of course, wherever you find your start button, go ahead and press that, and you'll get different prompts from your computer depending upon what kind of computer it is. It may fire right up, and but here it is. The Zeus is the hardware talking to us now. It's contacting the operating system on the hard drive. And here we go. Now it goes right into the Windows setup where we choose your language first. You want to go ahead and choose your language. It's a little confusing. The button's lit up, but actually you got to go press on the language first, then say next, and there you go. If you bought in another country, they'll have different languages. And because we hit next twice, it would skip past the region selection, but that's okay. This is license terms, normal stuff. You have to read the EULA and make sure that you agree. So we did that with speed reading, and we hit next. So now we're going into personalize the setup first. So one of the first screens you're going to see is the personalization. You can change your color, or you can leave it the way it is right now, and you want to give yourself a PC name, like Joe's Notebook or Joe's Computer or whatever you want to do. So you're going to go ahead and put that information in now. And that's how your computer is going to appear on your network, whatever name you use. So if we have to hit next, it's going to do the wireless setup. Now this is where you're going to need the wireless code. First of all, it's going to display all available networks in your building area, wherever you're doing your installation. So you're going to choose your network, and you're going to say, okay, this is what I want, and you want to say connect. And so it's going to go there, and it's going to ask you for the key. So you want to be able to type in the secure key that you had ready before you started the installation. Say okay. So then we move on to settings, which is going to be, now here, I always choose custom settings because I want to step through all the different things. I don't take any express. I want to know exactly what's going on and everything so that there's no surprises that they did something and everything. So we're going to hit, go ahead and do that. So here's the first setting. And that was whether or not it was on a private network, and it was what you really want to do if it's a home. You want to have it in a private so it's not sharing in a public place. Now this is where you set up your Windows updates, and I'm going to leave it as automatic, and later on we'll show you how to change it back again so that it doesn't do all the updates. At least it downloads them all, but lets you decide which one to do. But we're going to go ahead and leave it to where it is and do all that. Now, to help you protect your privacy section down here, I highly recommend you leave it that way. It puts all sorts of security in for browsing and all that, safe search and all that stuff. So go ahead and leave those the way they are, or make your own decision. And then after that, you just hit the next button. And here's some other settings. Send Microsoft info. Now this is if you're concerned about privacy and all that. You can turn a lot of this stuff off. I'm leaving it all on. I don't really care. And I'm going to move on to the next one. Now here's a check online for a solution problem. When your system encounters a problem, it can automatically fix things like that. So that's important. Share info with apps is another thing that allows it to understand what's going on. Read each one of these and make your own decision on what you want to do with that. But I just leave them basically on for most everything and then hit the next button. And now we're going to have to actually sign into the PC. And this is where you're going to have to make a decision of which account. You should have your Microsoft account on Outlook.com or Hotmail and all that. And again, choose the account where you've bought things or have other things like Xbox. You bought some games. You may want to use that. You also have to consideration whether you have a POP3 or IMAP account. Windows 8 Mail does not work with old POP3s. It only works with IMAP. So that's another thing. It allows you to sync between devices. So I'm going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and sign in here and everything. And it sometimes takes a while. We had a little problem with networking here. It was slow. And it fixed itself after all the updates. This happened on another Lenovo laptop that I installed about almost a year ago now. So we're waiting for the update to occur here. So I skip to it and then it comes up and says sign into your PC. We go ahead and sign in with your username, email address you created in an earlier step, or if you already had it and everything, whichever one you decided. And you can put in your password and all those kinds of things. So when you're done, and you just simply hit the next button and everything, and it'll finalize your settings, it says here. So then we're going to go in here, and in a minute, it'll go ahead and say hello. Now, it's going to go through things and talk nice to you and everything. It's better than that old progress bar. They're trying to keep you, engaged or talk a little bit about it. So they're going to give you a real quick and very high level swipe demo here on how to use your PC if you have a touchscreen and device and everything. So it's going to say swipe in from any edge, do that. You don't actually swipe now. It doesn't respond. It's still setting up. It's just a demo and how you do that. You can swipe in with your thumb. The design of Windows 8 was that the whole screen had to be flat so people could swipe in from the edge and it would pick up the swipe motion. There's no bulky edges and everything. So now they're getting their PC ready. More stuff. It'll change colors a bunch of times here. A long update process here. And then it'll start, after it finishes doing the initial stuff, then I'll say, oh, now I'm installing apps. And boom, let's start. That was a lot quicker than it really happened, of course. Now, after you do that, now you're actually able to use it. So we're going to go ahead and swipe. And you have to get used to the swipe a little bit to get a nice smooth motion. Eventually, you'll get the hang of it and everything, how to swipe in. And you go to the settings, and we're going to go to change. We're going to go to the user account because we didn't really sign in. We signed in with the local account. We're going to sign in with the actual Windows account, the Microsoft account, I should say. And we're going to click on that and say, sign in with a Microsoft account, and they're going to go ahead and sign it in. The difference here is that rather than signing your machine, you're signing in globally and everything. And in this case, we had to create a new account. It wasn't quite set up and everything, so we went in and did all those steps and everything. Now you can get an Outlook account, Hotmail. You can choose whichever one you want. As far as a new account, I would recommend for a new one, get Outlook. Of course, it's going to check for your passwords and all that stuff. And eventually, we're going to go ahead and log into the system with a online account. And what's really good about that is that the next step is going to be they're going to ask you for security info. That's other email addresses or phones. And that's so if you ever forget your password to your PC, if you've ever been in that situation, they'll either text you a code to get it back in or send it to an email address, whatever you decide here on your additional contact. So don't be too paranoid about giving them us other information about your birth date and all that stuff. It's all about getting you back into your PC if you forget your password. You have to have it, just sort of like your bank has to ask you for your birth date and things like that. So after all that finishes, you're back at your desktop. And then the next step we're going to talk about is getting Windows 8.1 because you're going to want to upgrade immediately so you don't learn the bad habits of, not the bad, but different habits in 8. So we go out here and we're going to go out and do that. Now to do that, we're going to search at the store first to show you that you're really not ready for it because you don't have all the prerequisites installed. So let's go out to the store, click on the store icon, it'll come up. And again, because you have updates done, it may take a while at first. But there's the store. And you'll see right now that it does not show Windows 8.1. That's the first thing you should see if you're ready for 8.1. It'll know it. And it says, hey, 8.1, and you're ready to go from here. So to check on it, you can just go ahead like any PC, Windows 8 PC. You just start typing at the store, and it'll do the search. And if you type in Windows 8.1, it'll come up and say, oh, it'll have all these other, applications or tutorials or whatever there in the store, but it will not have 8.1 listed. So you're not ready for it. So the next thing to do is update your current Windows 8 with all the patches and then go try this again. Now just to go check, take a check on it, I went to the control panel and there it is. It says it's Windows 8, not 8.1. So you already know that it's not ready. It's not updated and everything. So what do you do about that? Well, after you do that, you just simply go out and go to Windows Update. So we're going to go over here to Windows Update. It's over in the PC settings. And we're going to go, and it just talks about it. And we did that already, and then now it says we installed 82 important updates. Remember, Windows 8 or Windows 8 has been out for over a year. There's a lot of updates been done, patches, security stuff, and everything to help to keep you safe and everything. So you're going to go ahead and install all these updates. It's going to take quite a while, okay, but it's worth it. You'll see. So I got out of Windows updates for a second and went to the control panel so I could look at the advanced updates a little easier. So you can do that through the control panel. And I found two networking updates for this computer, both Bluetooth and the regular Wi-Fi. And it's important to note that both laptops I've done, the Lenovo and this ASUS, they both had slow networking connections. So there's been changes in Windows or in the hardware. They rewrote drivers and everything, and you'll see later on it's much, much faster. So that's why your installation is slow here at first, maybe downloading stuff, but it gets a lot better later on. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start the updates. You can do these now with the update or later. So here it is. I'm doing 82 updates. Here's some screenshots of it going through all the different stuff. And eventually it does the download and starts doing the install. Of course, it takes a lot longer than this. And we get to the place. Now you have to restart your PC. Okay, after the reboot process where it says installing updates and all that stuff and everything, just like a regular Windows update, you're back to your desktop. And so now we're going to go out to the store and see if we can go ahead and get that Windows 8.1 update. We went to clicked on the store icon, and look what comes up immediately. Update to Windows 8.1 for free. So it already knows that your PC has the right stuff installed. It knows that it has all the prerequisites necessary for you to move on to Windows 8.1. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we clicked on the big box. There's all the details, Windows 8.1. Click on install, and it goes through all these steps, checking compatibility, applying changes. Of course, a lot slower than this. It's making sure that your PC is 100% ready so there's no errors during the update, because basically you're replacing the entire operating system with a new version. Eventually it says restart. If you opt out, it'll still prompt you later on, and it goes through the normal install, 11%. All this takes a while as well. That's why you need all this time to do it, because you're going through two different installations, patching, another installation, and you eventually get to it. Sure enough, there it is in the lower half of the screen, Windows 8.1. We're fully upgraded, fully patched, all the latest revisions, and you're ready to go. So when I went out to the update, Windows Update again, and came in here. Now it was set up earlier to go ahead and update automatically, but I always make it download updates, but let me decide which one to install, because they might have a new version of Internet Explorer or Bing Toolbar, who knows what, okay? Or video drivers, if people prefer to download them from the driver's site rather than having them automatically updated. Gamers will know what I'm talking about. So I don't want that, so I turn that off. Also, the checkbox below where it says, give me the recommended updates the same way I receive important updates, that means it would automatically install those as well, or at least download them as well. So there you have it. There's my guide to installing, starting up your new PC, going through all the installation procedures. I hope it's been helpful. I really recommend you go ahead and get all your updates. It takes a long time. Then install Windows 8.1, and then go check on my videos, and which I'll give you a link. Here's the link to my videos, and have fun with your new PC. And don't forget to subscribe to Old Guy Geek. Have over 100 Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 videos, and we're publishing more all the time.